Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pillar to Post. I am your host, Pete Wall, and as you know, tonight was NXT. Now, on the bottom of the screen, you're going to read all the places you can find me. Patreon, Reddit, VidMe, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. All that information is going to be below in the descriptions. I want to give a shout out to all my subscribers here on YouTube, as well as my followers on vidme.com. I appreciate all the support and the views. Keep it coming. We're going to constantly keep on growing. We've shot up actually this month. I should say the end of April. We really shot up with YouTubers subscribing and with followers on VidMe. I appreciate it all. Keep it coming. Share my videos out with everyone and help this channel grow. I appreciate it all, people. So, like I said, tonight we had NXT, and I'm not going to say this is one of their better shows. Now, I understand it's only 1 hour and all the matches are fairly quick, but tonight they seemed a little bit too quick. I know they had the last half hour scheduled for the Battle Royal to determine the women's #1 contendership match, but I think they could have just, had two matches before that and just given them a little bit more time. But we can't ask for everything. We're not going to get everything. It still wasn't, like, there were still some pretty good matches. We've seen Hideo Itami. We've seen Killian, Dane. We've seen Heavy Machinery. So, all in all, they pack as much as they can in that 1 hour, and I do appreciate that. And they still had time for promos and such, so you can't really complain too much. But before we get on with the show a little bit more, I want you to do me a favor. Hit that like and subscribe button if you're on YouTube. Follow if you are on vidme.com. And I want to remind everyone, May 4th, which is tomorrow, Thursday, at 8 p.m., Shooting from the Hip goes live here on Pillar to Post. And I will be joined with my co-host. He has his channel over at Heavyweight Mark on YouTube, and he is Red Rainer. His info will be attached to this video as well in the description box. The way I look at it, if you're going to be tuning in to Shooting from the Hip, subscribe to Red Rainer at Heavyweight Mark, because it's only fair. He's joining me on my channel. We're working together to give you guys a little bit more entertainment, a little bit more news, and our views on the wrestling world itself. So how about we get into this and tell you what all went down tonight at NXT. So we start off with Killian Dane versus Danny Birch, and the first thing I thought, Danny Birch is getting slaughtered. And frankly, that's exactly what happened. He was made of short work. Now, he did try and make a couple of comebacks, shut down right away. Killian Dane is a friggin' monster. Like I said, we kicked things off with only part of Sanity coming out. Killian Dane with Eric Young. And they took on, or Killian Dane took on Danny Birch in singles competition. Now, Dane immediately jumps on Birch, but Birch tries to hold him back with some strikes. That doesn't last too long as Dane walks away and on Birch's chest. Or I should say wails away on Birch's chest, followed up by a big senton splash. Birch is already in a bad state, slow to get up from the powerful big man. Birch recovers with a headbutt, but again, Dane keeps him at bay. Birch up on his shoulders. We get the ulcer plantation for the 1, 2, 3, and your winner is Killian Dane. Now, like I said, these matches at the beginning of the show are very quick. Killian Dane won it in very short order, and poor Danny Birch just not looking good. This is his second week getting his arse handed to him. We get a little video package for Patrick Clark known as the Velveteen Dream. A whole lot of purple fog in that one as we mainly see Clark's silhouette. So really, not really much of a, a promo package for him. It's a lot of purple and just sucked. Up next we get Heavy Machinery versus Ricardo Watts and Hector. I couldn't remember if I heard it correctly. Kunzman or Kunzman. One of those two. Another jobber. Either way, these guys were tiny compared to Heavy Machinery. I don't know what the hell they were thinking when they agreed to this match, but they got their asses handed to them in a big way. Heavy Machinery went to work tonight. So Heavy Machinery go to work quickly with a number of double team moves, including a double splash into their opponent's head. Kunzman gets sent to the moon with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex. We get more massive double splashing down to the mat as both Kunzman and Watts are pinned at the same time. This match was the definition of a squash match. And Heavy Machinery had something to say after the match as well. They went on to say, "We love having a good time." They talk about steaks, weights, and are tired of appetizers. They want a feast and call out the authors of pain. They end it with, "We're real hungry, and it's time we ate." Now, backstage, Bobby Roode had something to say as well, and he was whispering some encouraging words to Kona Reeves before his match with Hideo Itami. Like I said, I don't really have much to say about these matches because they were so quick. I'm giving you highlights simply of what happened. Like Heavy Machinery, very destructive today, but then their opponents were nothing but jobbers. They were like half the size of these guys. So it's easy to grab a little puny guy like that and just toss him over your head. Believe me, I used to do it all the time. The smaller they are, the more amazing it looks. I want to see these guys go up against authors of pain and face guys their own size. So until I see that, right now I don't have much to say because wrestling jobbers can be easy. They're fed to you, you go through them, and they go through you. Simple as that. It's like a bad appetizer and you're suffering the next day with the runs. That's what jobbers are. And tonight, the jobbers ran through Heavy Machinery. That's for damn sure. So, up next we get Kona Reeves versus Hideo Itami. Very quick match. Kona Reeves started the match real quick and early. He jumped Hideo Itami, or Hideo Itami, I should say it correctly, and just pulverized him in the corner. The ref ended up backing him up and making sure that Hideo was able to get back to his feet and was able to compete. He came out, he got to his feet, and the bell rang, and we went right to work. And let's see, where are we? Crowd support fully behind Itami in this one. Hideo gets tired of Reeves' disrespect and slaps him right in the face. More than once, I should say. Followed that up with a huge ton of kicks and drop kick in the corner. Hideo instantly goes for the GTS and gets the victory. And we have the third very quick match of the night. Now, it started off with Kona Reeves in full control. And he, instead of capitalizing once the match officially started, he decided to taunt Hideo Itami. And he suffered for that. Hideo got basically a boot wash across the top of the head, and it kind of lit the fire in him, and he got to his feet, got right in Kona Reeves' face, and slapped the taste and the look right off of his face. And after that, it was just it was just the end for Kona Reeves, because the kicks came fast. Another couple of slaps, he hit the GTS, and Hideo Itami was your winner of the night, and just made short order of Kona Reeves once he had that fire lit up under his ass. So up next we get the #1 Contenders Battle Royal in the NXT Women's Championship, or for the NXT Women's Championship. We get a video package first of Drew McIntyre showing old clips of when Vince called him the Chosen One, and then his recent return to NXT, followed up by recent match highlights, which I do love that they're getting away from the Chosen One. I hated that on him. And you could see it. Vince went for the big push right away. The fans went and just fought against it. Drew McIntyre suffered because of it. Every time Vince McMahon gets behind a guy like that, they suffer. I'm surprised he's still pushing Roman Reigns as hard as he is, because Drew McIntyre failed big time his first run in WWE because of that huge push he got. So I'm glad he's starting off in NXT. I'm glad he's building himself back up, and I'm glad he's back in the WWE, because it is where he belongs. We got another video package of Roderick Strong, who talks about his fiancée and how he will be a dad very soon. They show him at home putting together a bunch of baby items. Clips are shown from his early days in IPW hardcore wrestling. He talks about how indie wrestling is needed to help get wrestlers prepared for that next level. Also talks about the process to get into NXT, and parts of his Performance Center tryout are shown. Strong talks about how it's not just about being a good wrestler, and that more is needed, I should say. Talks about Ring of Honor days and how WWE gave him a call when it was his time, and he said yes to the opportunity. I want to put NXT on my back. That's what I do. I'm a workhorse. Strong tears up as he thinks about his younger days and not being afraid. His baby was born on April 24th, and that he's doing all of this for his family. Now backstage we get William Regal once again, and he says, let's see, William Regal says about Strong, that's quite a story, isn't it? That's what he says to Bobby Roode. Bobby stares at his phone, not paying attention. Roode tells Regal signing him was Regal's greatest accomplishment yet. He continues that Regal needs to protect him as an investment, especially with Itami running around now. Regal then announces Itami will take on Strong next week, and the winner of that match will take on Roode at NXT TakeOver Chicago. In comes Strong, and the two superstars stare at each other before Roode heads out. It's interesting. I like the build-up they're giving Strong. They're showing him as the man he is, the man he was, and the man he could be in the ring. The guy's got a lot of potential. I've seen him in Ring of Honor. The guy is great in the ring. And I see him as a future NXT heavyweight champion, but not yet. Not yet. I think Itami goes to Chicago. That's just me. Now, finally, we got up to the #1 Contender Women's Battle Royal. Now, out to the ring in order, it's Lacey Evans, Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross before heading to commercial. When we get back, they show a video package showing Aleister Black will be in action next week. And when we come back, it's we're still doing entrances with Liv Morgan heading out with several other women already in the ring. Out next is Ruby Riott, then Ember Moon. Things kick off with Victoria Gonzalez trying to send Peyton and Billie out first. Pretty much everyone pairs off as they attempt to toss each other out of the ring. Not much going on as nobody can really throw anyone out. Plenty of stomping and striking in all corners of the ring early on. Excuse me, let me take a drink first before I go on. We go to commercial, and when we come back, we see Billie Kay and Peyton Royce eliminate Victoria Gonzalez. They also send out Bianca Blair shortly after. Peyton Royce almost gets sent out, but Rachel Ellering is sent out by Aaliyah. A bunch of women are dumped out at the same time, including Sonya and Lacey. Ruby Riott sends Kimberly out via Hurricane Rana. Billie Kay sends Candice LeRae out, and the crowd gives a huge boo at this point. Nikki Cross sends out Aaliyah. Crowd chants, "Thank you, Nikki." Left in the ring is Liv, Nikki, Billy and Peyton, Ruby, and Ember Moon. And Nikki Cross is able to toss out Liv Morgan, who is holding on for dear life. Kay goes for a big boot on Moon, misses. She almost goes out. Then Moon does kick her off the apron. Beautiful thrust kick that sent her off. Moon is able to send Peyton out just after and down to 3 with Ruby, Ember, and Nikki. Nikki goes right at Ruby. Ember Moon goes after Nikki. Both are struggling in the corner. Ruby gets into it and sends Nikki into the second rope. Ember climbs up to the top and hits the Eclipse on Cross. Looked freaking phenomenal too. I swore that it connected more than it should have, and Nikki was almost out of it. She's rolling. Okay, back up to the top. Asuka comes out from the back and sends Ember all the way to the outside. And this is where the report came in a couple of days ago, where Ember Moon might have hurt her shoulder, but I'll get into that after this. She catches her arm awkwardly against the guardrail. Asuka takes out both Ruby and Nikki, yelling, "No one's ready for Asuka." The referee checks on all the women and decides to call the match a no contest as all 3 women struggle to get up. Ember Moon looks to be wincing a lot in pain. She was actually crying, holding her shoulder on the outside. It was deemed a no contest. We got William Regal come out shortly after and said that all 3 women in that ring would be facing Asuka at NXT TakeOver Chicago. So it's going to be Nikki Cross, Ember Moon, and Ruby Riott versus Asuka in a Fatal 4-Way Championship match at TakeOver Chicago. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on with Ember Moon. Is she legit injured? There's been a bit of reports saying that the injury was worse than they thought it was. But I'm sure they've got plenty of time before she has to get up to TakeOver Chicago. I'm hoping so anyway. I'm hoping she's fully recovered. I want to see her in that match. We all know Ember's been on a long streak, and they're comparing her to Goldberg in a lot of ways with a bunch of reports from all these news sites, as well as her beating Goldberg's streak. She has beaten Goldberg's streak officially now. So, you know, they can compare to Goldberg, or they can compare Goldberg to her. Either one. You know, she's been a champion for a very long time, and I'm waiting to see who is going to be the person to actually take that title away. Is she going to lose it at Chicago TakeOver, and will she actually be the one being pinned? Or will it be someone else in that Fatal 4-Way match? Because everyone knows the champion does not need to be pinned in a Fatal 4-Way match. It can be one of the other opponents, and the match is over when someone gets pinned and a new champion is crowned. So, I'm waiting to see what happens. I really am. Now, I want to remind everyone once again, tomorrow, that's May 4th at 8 p.m., Shooting from the Hip goes live stream. And I understand that we've had two bad live streams now. The first one, our audio was crap. You could barely hear Red Rainer. And the second one, everyone that night that was trying to do a live stream ended up getting screwed over by YouTube. Nothing wanted to seem to work right. We were freezing constantly. It was terrible. But we weren't the only channel, so I was kind of happy about that. There was a bunch of other channels that suffered the same problem. And it was weird. Our audio was fine straight through, but our video package itself was shot to shit. I was very disappointed because I thought we had done a very good show. It was a little bit risque because we were showing the fake Alexa Bliss photos that had been posted online, basically trying to slander her and say, you know, she's been posing nude behind the scenes and stuff like that. So, you know, it was nicely done, and it was kind of ruined by the way YouTube was working that night. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope to keep on seeing you guys coming back. Please, if you enjoyed the video, if you got right to the end, hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit that like button. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you thought of Heavy Machinery. And do you see them as the next tag team champions? Because this big guy right here, he sees a lot of potential in Heavy Machinery. Man, I'd love to be a part of that team, man. They look like they have tons of fucking fun. You guys have a good night. Leave a comment below. Smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't yet. And I will be seeing you tomorrow for episode 4, part 2. So, see you tomorrow.